Komi can't communicate has proved pretty much since the near beginning that Komi and Tadano are without a doubt perfect together. They are the perfect type of people to be together. Komi, who is struggling to come out of her shell, needs someone normal and not over the top, over dramatic, and worshipping her like a goddess. Just an average boy who gets flustered for sure, but isn't going to become a stalker to a fanboy, right? He's going to appear normal, and that's the whole point of Tadano's character, is he's the most average of them all. And Tadano, most people, they want someone who isn't putting them on a pedestal, but treating them like a person, and that's what makes him so special. And just to see how she very much lets him feel welcomed and wanted, and not just, some average Joe that's just there, no one really notices. The person she always notices the most is our boy Tadano, the one that she always hopes to see the most, the one that she wants to spend alone time with, the one that she gets flustered thinking about. They both complement each other so much, and to kick the episode off with seeing more of her family, seeing the mother, once again the father, get a taste of the brother, some cousins, some aunts, but the grandma was the star of that entire sequence, because she knows and was clear that, Komi used to struggle, and the fact that she was asking her, how's everything going, and she's nodding, and she says, is there a boy you like? And she gets embarrassed, and she starts looking at the phone. This Tadano, he's up to no good, I'm not gonna have it. That's grandma right there. She definitely knows when to be strict and over the top, but she also has, just those characteristics that you can't help but love. And that was kind of the start of the episode to really get it going, that this was going to be an episode that was very much going to highlight that the connection between Tadano and Komi is definitely not one-sided, and that Komi is probably going to start revealing more and more. And I'm glad that an episode like this happened here, because this is typically what you would see around the episode 11 or 12 mark. And I'm glad it happened at episode 8, because it allows for 4 more episodes to potentially dive into this kind of will they, won't they a bit more. And I'm not necessarily expecting a relationship or anything, but it's nice that we're going to get more propelling on Komi's side, like the fact that in this episode, probably my favorite point of the episode, she's writing in the dirt because she forgets her notepad, saying how she wished to spend more alone time with Tadano before scratching it out and getting embarrassed. I really appreciate those little finer moments that really show you, because when you get some of your friends popping up with 1,000 spectators who, because you have 1 million friends, it's a little different, but it's the fact that, when she gets lost or she gets distracted, the one who's always there to come back to make sure she's okay, it's Tadano. And even though she very much wants to have multiple friends, I love how this episode was focusing, no matter how many personalities were on screen, whether it's your chuny friend trying to compete at catching goldfish, to your biggest rival trying to shoot down a target and ultimately having to go right up in front of it because you couldn't hit it from afar. Everything about it was the person that makes her the most comfortable is Tadano. And that's the whole point of a relationship, is to have that person that connects with you, even if they don't necessarily, share all the same hobbies. I mean, other friends can do that for you. I think one of the funnier moments of this episode was actually the string game where there's all these different strands and you pull one and you get a prize. And ultimately, in very carnival fashion, there's a very big prize, which in this case is a game console. And I like how this old woman has so many tricks up her sleeve where it's not a scam, it's just she has ways to mislead. The one thread looks very worn, and you can tell from the distance that, the game console one has a very worn out thread, but she attaches it to a normal one to blend in, and the fact that when certain characters are a little skeptical of which one to pull, she'll give a very no, don't look at that reaction, and it will just be tissues. Or in the case of Komi, randomly picks one and got lucky. I mean, that's really those games in a nutshell. If you get lucky, sometimes it happens. I remember one time when I was at a fair, I got my grandma a clock of, I forget what the design was, but it was a guitar clock. It was something that's probably worth a few $100. And I did the shooting game and, I knocked something over that 1 in 1,000 times might get knocked over. So it's possible. It's just very unlikely. Though it's nice to see just how it can really turn you for a loop in a show like Komi with the over-the-topness of how everything kind of went down. And I think the idea of ending the episode with the kind of ending of summer vacation. For the viewers, we didn't really see it for all that long, just a couple of episodes. But for the characters, it was a normal summer vacation. And for Komi, this is the first time she wished a summer vacation would end, because unlike in her school life where she's just constantly being fawned over and feeling just worried, not knowing how to communicate, She got to do a bunch of things with friends, and most importantly, got to really put herself out there when it came to Tadano. And it's nice to see that, because that's the type of build-up that separates a show like Komi Can't Communicate to a standard slice-of-life feel-good show. And those are good. They have their purpose, they're very fun to watch, but they're not going to be a show that you're necessarily going to remember for many months to come. Komi, on the other hand, because you get those ridiculous, funny, cute, wholesome, you probably should be in jail moments, you also get that steady build-up between its central two leads. And I think having the most perfectly average, normal guy in the school of the most Looney Tunes level antics is exactly who Komi needs, and that's exactly who he needs from Komi, right? And it's just so great to see. Now, I know there is some other episodes subbed from different subgroups, so what I'm about to say, I have no knowledge if it's going to be touched upon, and I don't really want to know. But I'm hoping for maybe the next couple of episodes to maybe introduce us a bit more into a couple more of those characters, because we get some kind of like glances of them in the background, like the ninja and things like that. But it seems like they very much have established who Season 1 was going to focus on in terms of the main side cast and supporting cast, from stalkers to chunies to rivals and this and that. But I wouldn't be opposed to having one or two more characters get some time focused in on them before the show wraps up, with hopefully one or two more moments that really cement their relationship. I mean, this festival, without a doubt, and summer vacation in general, really propelled how Komi feels for Tadano. And it was clear how Tadano felt for Komi from the classroom alone. But it was nice to have those types of moments, and I'm curious because ultimately I'm always a big supporter of ending a season on a festival-style episode, because they're just the perfect firework explosions, the scenery, the kind of like, oh, they're kind of dating or they're kind of together now. It's just the perfect type of episode to kind of conclude on, similar to stuff like even Kaguya-sama, right? So I'm curious to see if there is another moment that will be able to have that type of impact for its final episode of potentially forever, or if we ever get a season 2 or not. Because final episodes, I think, are very important for a show like this, especially if you want people to jump into that manga, which I've heard nothing but good things about. But the anime's been great. The voice actors are without doubt my favorite part of this adaptation, because they really go into their performance. That simple moment where Tadano is saying, oh, did you forget your notebook? And he compliments her kind of attire. She's trying that entire time to say, you look good too, and she's stuttering. She's saying just a couple of syllables, and then by the time she finally gets it out of her system, you realize what she was doing that whole time. She was simply trying to compliment him back, and it goes to show how much he means to her, that for that entire time she tried to say that and was able to face to face. Incredible episode as always. We'll be back next week to take a look at episode 9 and see where this wonderful show goes in its last act. Let me know your thoughts down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you're new around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.